Here's an interview from one of our past shows on Rock and Metal Revival. If you're interested in hearing full shows, go to our Facebook page and check out our list of affiliates for times and places where you can hear Rock and Metal Revival. There is brand new music from Tremonti. It's called If Not For You, from their upcoming release, Marching in Time, which comes out September 24th. And with us today on the show, we want to welcome back to the Revival, Mark Tremonti. Welcome back to the show, Mark.
Hey, thanks for having me. How are you?
Great. It's great to have you back on. It's great to hear new music. And now this is the first new music that we've heard from Tremonti since A Dying Machine, and a lot has happened since that album's release. Mark, did you find it easy to find the topics to write for this new project with everything going on in the world?
Yeah, one thing I tried to concentrate on was not to create a COVID album. It was I didn't want to have something that you heard it 5 years from now and it just puts you back in that place and kind of sounded dated and reminded you of a time that wasn't very very enjoyable. Yeah. So that being said, the title track Marching in Time is definitely about these times, but the rest of the record is just not.
So the song If Not For You, at the beginning, is that a keyboard or is that a guitar effect or something going on?
That's it's a guitar going through a synth pedal. So it's a pedal that makes it sound like a synthesizer, a guitar.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Mark, talking back, you mentioned the album's title track, Marching in Time, is about experience of getting ready to become a father in the middle of that pandemic. That'd be a tough song to write with the situation at hand, and has to be a very personal song for you.
Yeah, it was, some songs just kind of lyrically write themselves, and it's hard to kind of filter out everything going in the world and not have it spill over into your what you're trying to create. So it's finding out my wife was pregnant, during the beginning of COVID, and having the world kind of get turned upside down, and not just COVID, but just all the stuff we've been going through, and the world's just kind of very divided, it seems like, and I just started writing that song. Sometimes words just come out naturally, and I think the first line was so many lives marching in time. These people are just, I just see it. You turn on the news and it just seems like everybody's blind right now. Everybody's just out to get one another, and then when you have a child, you want to kind of shelter them from that, and that song's all about trying to keep that purity in your child and not have what's going on in the world affect them.
Yes, I totally get that. Now, who's in the band recording this? I mean, or did you do it all yourself, and who's in your touring band?
No, we have Eric Friedman is the longest standing member of the band with me. He's been my buddy for 20 years or so, and he plays guitar and sings backup vocals, and he helps. He's really my first guy I get with when I write songs. I'll play them for him and then kind of get his response, which ideas he likes better than others, and then we'll get together. And he's really good at working, Logic and Pro Tools and all those programs to help me make demos, and he'll program the drums as well. So, me and him kind of work first, and then we get with Ryan Bennett. It was the drummer on this record, played his. This is his first album he tracked on. Oh. And then Tanner Keegan performed about half of the tracks on bass on this record, and Eric did the other half.
Nice.
Outstanding. Mark, one of the things that I appreciate the most about your solo projects, about the Tremonti Band, is that it's not a copy of, let's say, Creed or Alter Bridge. I hear a total different band there, and I like what you're bringing with this little heavier edge on the Tremonti projects. Is that also what you bring to those other two bands, is the little heavier edge to Creed and Alter Bridge?
Yeah, I've definitely always been the heavy guy, and I think I've kind of rubbed off on Miles. It's funny, on the last record we did, we kind of wrote the record separate from one another. Me and Miles wrote maybe 7 or 8 songs on our own, and then we put them in a pile, and pretty much half the record is mine, half the record is Miles as far as the creation of it. And my producer's like, you know what? Half of the songs that I thought you would have written, Miles wrote. Half the songs that Miles wrote, he got it backwards. So it's, you work long enough with some people, and you kind of know what other people like and what they're going to gravitate towards, and you kind of write in their styles. So we've kind of become this strange twin songwriting team. So it's But that being said, I think have brought out the heavier side in the bands just because I grew up a speed metal guy, and that's still one of my biggest passions that I bring to this band.
Nice. Being a guitar player myself, what I'm listening for is the guitars and the tones. And dude, there's some really, really great tone and some really intense rhythms going on. Like, what's that one song? Now and Forever. It's got that really blazing fast riff going on. I just don't. I was wondering, any songs on this album you're looking forward to playing live?
All of them. We've been rehearsing. We just started rehearsing again yesterday, but the title track is a real challenge to, more than anything, is a challenge to sing. It's changing channels, singing it, playing the guitar parts, not having to look down while you're singing. It's just a tough song.
Oh, yeah.
If not for you, the single's kind of an easy song to perform, but fun. Sometimes those are the most fun songs to play, ones you don't have to really think about. You can just enjoy the emotion of it.
Yeah.
Thrown Further is a real fun, energetic song to play. We've been doing that. I think one of the best live, when you record a record, sometimes your favorite songs don't translate live very well. And
Exactly.
Sometimes it can be a big disappointment. And with this record, A World Away really translates well, and that's going to be a staple in our set list, the opening track of the record.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll experiment with all of them and see which ones work with the live setting.
Cool.
Mark, I just love your vocals on the Tremonti projects, and I just wanted to know, you as a musician and as an artist, what do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy being out there singing, playing guitar, or is it the Alter Bridge thing where you're just out there just laying it out, shredding on the guitar? Which do you find more enjoyment in?
I love them both for different reasons. I love Alter Bridge because I get to turn over the frontman duties to Miles. Sometimes I love singing, but sometimes I don't like being the frontman. Sometimes I just want to sing, play a song, get to the next song. I've never been one for in between songs telling a great story and having the crowd laugh. I'm just not that guy.
Yeah.
I'll get up there in between a song and get people to clap their hands and get people to yell and shout, but Miles is a great front man. I'm about to go on tour with one of the best front men out there, Lejean from Seven Dust. He's just amazing at it. So hopefully I pick up some things from him. But with singing itself is just such a great emotional thing to do. When you're really into a song and you get to sing it, there's no feel like it. When you have, a big crowd singing those words back to you, it's, there's just it's something you don't really get as much out of. The guitar, I think, is the closest thing to it, to the human voice as far as expression, but there's nothing quite like being able to sing.
Yeah, nobody sings your guitar solos back to you.
Yeah, so definitely, Well, you want your guitar solos to sound like, a melody that can be sung, but like I said, there's just something very exciting about and emotional about singing.
Now, on this album, did you use regular amps, or did you use some processing, computer stuff, or is it all regular?
Well, I used I've got an amp that is in the works right now, dialing in. It's called the MT100, and I came out with an amp a couple years back called the MT15, which is my signature amplifier, and we use that on everything since. And that's on this record too, but its big brother, the MT100, is a 100-watt version of it, and that's pretty much 80% of the tone of my tone on this record.
Wow!
I also use a Victory V40 for some of the clean stuff, and the Cornford RK100 to tuck in on the dirty tones. But it was pretty much about 4 amplifiers I used.
Nice. You got great. Just sound thick. Just a lot of thick-sounding guitars, which is awesome.
Thank you.
Now, Mark, you're heading out on the road with one of our favorite bands in Seven Dust, and you're going to be here in our area September 20th, and it's got to be a great feeling for you to get back out on the stage. What can our listeners expect from the Tremonti Band coming back out on tour?
Just a bunch of caged animals let out of the cage, pretty much. It's going to be... especially by the 20th, we'll have our sea legs when we first get out there, our first show is going to be at a huge festival. So that's going to be, that's the thing looming. When we're rehearsing, we're getting ready to swing for the fences because we're jumping into a huge crowd. It's going to be nice when we get back into playing our shows with Seven Dust, because those are more controlled. You can do sound check. You get to make sure everything is just right. So by the 20th of September, we'll be dialed in.
Nice. Are there any Mark Tremonti signature guitar designs in the works? Any new ones?
Yeah, I mean, I have a signature guitar. It's there's a few versions of it. There's I think 3 versions now, and there's a 20th. Yeah, there's we're talking about a 20th anniversary release that should be hopefully out soon.
Sweet. Now, are there any songs on this album you think could have benefited from adding some cowbell?
Oh, always, man. There you go.
It helped the interviews, like, just knocked it out of the park now.
You got one right there in the studio, huh?
Yeah.
We're in Wisconsin. We don't go anywhere without a cowbell.
We have to. It's around our neck.
You know what? I've never had a cowbell in any of my bands for some reason. I've had the rototoms and all the other little outdated things now, but the cowbell never had.
Oh man, you need one of them vibra slap things too.
Oh yeah, those are killer. Nowadays you just hit a drum pad that has that.
Oh yeah, the effect on it. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Well, Mark, we want to play another one off this upcoming release. The new release is called "Marching in Time," and the song I'd love to play off this is a song called "A World Away." Can you tell us a little bit about this tune?
Yeah, "A World Away." Subject matter is kind of being about somebody trapped. Where you're. I go back to the song called "Shed My Skin" that I wrote for Alter Bridge years ago about when my family pretty much moved to a place I hated. I had no friends. I had my band. I had this great band back in Detroit that I had to split up from, and I was just alone playing my guitar. Nobody else I knew were musicians, so I sat for a couple of years just kind of lonely and trapped, I felt like. And it's pretty much about anybody who's trapped in a city or a job or a situation that they maybe aren't brave enough or strong enough or able to get out of. So that song's pretty much promising yourself, no matter what, you're gonna break free from that situation.
Nice. Outstanding.
Cool.
Well, I am looking so forward to this album dropping on September 24th and actually seeing you in Belvedere at the Apollo with Seven Dust. And Mark Tremonti, you are always welcome back on Rock and Metal Revival.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.